Xi Jinping has declared that achieving national rejuvenation requires bringing Taiwan under Beijing's control. And in 2022, he set a concrete schedule for readiness. Beijing orders its military, be ready to seize Taiwan by 2027. War game studies by Japan's Sasakawa Foundation and Washington's Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, show any fight for Taiwan would draw fire onto nearby US and Japanese bases. If those beaches fall, Okinawa lies exposed. Japan's alliance system cracks. What risk now confronts the Japan-Taiwan bond? CSIS ran 30 tabletop war games that used actual troop strengths and missile stockpiles as inputs. The results repeat. Even in China's worst scenarios, the Allies bleed terribly. The simulations show China loses. 26 US ships sink. 2,500 Japanese fall. Japan's post-war constitution renounces war, limiting the self-defense forces to purely defensive fires and complicating joint operations. For islanders, rumors of invasion aren't headlines, they're tomorrow's tide. Yet Article 9 of Japan's post-war constitution, renouncing war and limiting the self-defense forces to strictly defensive actions on or near Japanese territory, still binds those forces because China still lacks enough purpose-built landing ships. It has legislated the conversion of large roll-on, roll-off ferries, fitting them with strengthened decks and bow ramps. Beijing converts civilian ferries into launch pads, cheap, legal, fast. Do ordinary passengers know that the ferry carrying them today could unload tanks tomorrow? Each converted ferry can land an entire battalion of troops and armored vehicles in a single trip. Because these ships dock at ordinary container piers, troops can roll straight onto city streets instead of storming beaches. Launching several ferries at once would quickly expand the first wave of any landing force. Chinese state outlets stamp Taiwan's leaders with the legal term separatists, Beijing's label for anyone who rejects its one China claim. The word dominates newscast tickers, front-page headlines, and viral short video captions, all aimed at portraying Taiwan's government as unlawful and sapping public confidence. Chinese training texts single out Russia's 2014 capture of Crimea as a blueprint. Back then, unmarked Russian commandos, nicknamed Little Green Men, quietly surrounded airports, TV stations, and city halls before local forces could react. Beijing's manuals propose the same. Slip plainclothes troops into Taiwan cities, cut communications, and lock down government buildings within hours. The aim is to create a sudden fait accompli that looks like internal unrest, delaying any foreign intervention. Japan's constitution demands that every shot be both necessary and proportionate. Commanders must show that firing a missile will directly stop an attack and cause the least possible harm. Even after the 2015 security law update, striking mainland China remains politically taboo. Article 9 draws an invisible line. The self-defense forces may intercept missiles headed for Japan or Taiwan, but they cannot hit launchers sitting near Shanghai unless Japan itself faces imminent attack. Court records in Taipei reveal how Chinese handlers paid low-level clerks just a few thousand US dollars to photograph troop deployment maps and forward draft laws via encrypted chat apps. One aide even tried to carry a USB drive packed with submarine procurement files onto a flight before being arrested at the airport. These cases prove Beijing's spy network has reached the heart of Taiwan's government, and Japanese police warn similar recruitment pitches target officials in Tokyo. Chinese spying reaches Taiwan's top government offices, and probably Tokyo's too. When a single COVID lockdown in Shenzhen and a global chip drought hit in 2022, Japanese assembly lines froze, revealing how an economic choke could follow a shooting war. Boardrooms crunched the numbers. Audits of semiconductors, machine tools, rare earth magnets all pointed to one choke point: Taiwan. 80% of Japanese firms now label a Taiwan clash their biggest China risk. They rush orders to Southeast Asia and bring chip plants back home, yet Tokyo still imports 90% of its microchips from Taiwan. A month-long choke on the Luzon Strait would halt auto and electronics lines nationwide. A blockade strangles semiconductors. Japan's economy bleeds in weeks. How many days before every assembly line stops completely? To blunt a first strike, Taipei has ordered hundreds of PAC-3 interceptors and is standing up a 4th Patriot Battalion, plus a new short-range surface-to-air missile unit for low-altitude cruise missile threats. U.S. simulations guide where each radar should sit, so every critical city stays under an overlapping shield. Soft-kill jammers now ride on pickup trucks to blind incoming drones before a single missile is wasted. These moves aim to turn China's short, sharp war into a long, costly grind. China is converting retired J-6 fighters into explosive drones and flying TB001 UAVs around the island. To stop a swarm that could bankrupt its missile stocks, Taiwan layers cheaper soft-kill jammers in front of hard-killed guns and stingers. The goal: blind hostile drones, then pick off what slips through without emptying the treasury. Washington has tapped its presidential drawdown authority for a $500 million aid package, the first free U.S. weapons to Taiwan since 1965. Items are chosen by a joint team that studies recent exercises and Patriot radar data. Extra Stingers, coastal Harpoon missiles, spare short-range missile launchers. The grant proves America will ship arms fast, not just sell them on paper. Tokyo is hardening its Southwest Island chain. New Type 12 missiles now cover the strait between Okinawa and Taiwan, and F-35 squadrons rotate south for quick response. Meanwhile, towns as far north as Kyushu conduct Taiwan contingency evacuation drills. Sirens warn residents to move inland if Chinese missiles threaten ports. The message: Japan will not stand by if Taiwan is attacked. Japan's new law pours billions into building 2 domestic chip foundries by 2027, cutting dependence on Taiwan. At sea, Japanese destroyers now train in integrated air and missile defense with the U.S. 7th Fleet, drills that qualify them to shield American carriers racing to Taiwan. Washington's answer is forward presence. A U.S. carrier group now patrols the Philippine Sea year-round, while Bomber Task Force flights from Guam can reach Taiwan in 3 hours. In Kyushu, Marines rehearse moving HIMARS launchers onto ferries, an Indo-Pacific command drill funded by the Pacific Deterrence Initiative. These moves force Beijing to plan against ready-made firepower on day one. Since 2021, small teams of U.S. Army Green Berets and Marine Raiders have slipped into 2 remote bases on Taiwan's less populated east coast. Each month-long rotation drills night fire marksmanship, drone spotting, and portable missile tactics, skills Taiwan's soldiers seldom practice. Training occurs under blackout canvas to stay invisible to Chinese spy satellites. Secret U.S. boots already coach Taiwan's front line. Starting in 2013, Beijing launched a massive dredging campaign across the Spratly Chain, especially Fiery Cross, Subi, and Mischief Leafs, pumping sand into each lagoon until the atolls turned into concrete fortresses. Shipborne cement plants poured runways long enough for H-6 bombers, while radar domes and surface-to-air missile sites ringed the new shores. The reclaimed 3,200 acres now sit like unsinkable aircraft carriers, blocking the sea lanes any U.S. task force must cross to reach Taiwan. Artificial islands aren't about fish, they're mid-ocean runways to intercept U.S. carriers. In May 2024, Japan's Coast Guard sent a patrol cutter to rendezvous with its Taiwanese counterpart off Yonaguni for a landmark exercise, stretcher transfers between 2 rolling decks, and helicopter hoist practice, vital skills if cruise missiles ever strike merchant lanes. It was the first formal life-saving drill between Tokyo and Taipei since 1972. Showing that Japan and Taiwan can set aside their East China Sea border dispute when lives are on the line. These ropes are a lifeline that binds the 2 democracies together when danger comes. Taiwan has extended compulsory service from 4 months to 1 year for men born after 2005 and added battlefield first aid, drone recognition, and stinger drills. Yet polls show only 55% feel ready to fight. Civil defense guides now list 110,000 public shelters. The island's greatest challenge may be sustaining morale while upgrading defense faster than China's threats evolve. Over the last decade, Beijing has argued that prosperity matters more than the freedom to vote, while Taipei counters that real security grows from consent. The debate now stretches far beyond shipping lanes or chip factories. It will shape the rules that a fifth of humanity lives under. This contest isn't just over islands. It sets 2 systems against each other: democracy versus dictatorship. Tokyo has doubled its defense budget for the first time in modern history and ordered 400 U.S. Tomahawk cruise missiles to create a new counter-strike capacity. Japan's maritime ministry now drills shipyards to repaint ferries for military use within 48 hours, while Taipei's new civil defense law pulls 200,000 reservists back to the range each year. Deterrence sharpens, laws debated, missiles ordered, citizens briefed. Costly, yet cheaper than surrender. Okinawa hosts Kadena Air Base, the largest U.S. air wing in Asia, with more than 100 fighters, tankers, and surveillance jets that can reach Taiwan in 20 minutes. The island lies only 650 kilometers from Taipei, well inside the strike radius of hundreds of Chinese ballistic and cruise missiles plotted on every Chinese target map. Okinawans endured the bloody 1945 Battle of Okinawa and decades of Cold War standoffs, so the threat of invasion has hung over them for nearly 80 years. Yet Naha's neon-lit bars still buzz tonight, proof that daily life persists beside bunkers. If Tokyo and Washington fortify fast enough, Xi Jinping may decide the cost of attacking is too high. We want peace, not missiles streaking overhead. When democracies share information and technology, they outrun missiles. Tech, trade, and ideas bind us together, but that shield works only if we stay alert. We'll keep unearthing history's hidden chapters and uploading them here. Subscribe now so you never miss the next untold story.